Welcome to Indivisible. I'm your host, John Stubbins. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's really important that we use the vehicles, the mediums of television, music, poetry, books, and film to share history, to tell stories. Everyone knows I work in that world, and television, voiceover, commercial, film, even doing play-by-play for Fox, calling baseball games. And I've done it all. And I can't think of a more important story to tell than right now, than the stories coming from conservatives. And why is that? Because with so much fake news out there and the America-hating rhetoric of the left, it's crucial, and I mean crucial, that adults, children alike, have a place to go to seek truth so that we can learn, so that we can grow, so that we can become better people, better Americans. I can't think of a more important film that Americans need to see right now than No Safe Spaces. Now, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I'm going to bring on Mark Joseph, the producer of No Safe Spaces. We'll be right back, America.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you.
You are not listening. I want your job to be taken from you.
A protest has turned violent in California, Berkeley.
This is why we're fighting for the soul of America.
You should be able to share ideas without fear of being fired from your job or
not to be heard. This is one of the few things one could say we have no precedent for in the United States.
You have the right to remain silent.
The only way we separate the good ideas from the bad ideas is to be free to say whatever we want about them.
I want to welcome to the show now my friend and brother, Mark Joseph. He's the producer of No Safe Spaces. Welcome to the show, Mark. How you doing?
Great to be with you. Congratulations on the show.
Thank you very much. How's your family doing? Staying healthy?
We're hanging in there. We're quarantined. I've been quarantined for maybe 2 weeks now. So go for some walks around the lake I live around. But other than that, we're going by the rules here. So hope this ends quickly.
Yeah, we all do. And we hope that we can get back out there and get back to American life and the economy thriving, etc. Mark, as I told you before, and as you know, I actually went to go see the film with my attorney, and we loved it, just loved the film. Could you tell our audience about this fantastic film and why it's so important that Americans need to make sure they see it?
Well, thanks. As you noted, it's called No Safe Spaces. We are just going to digital today online, and will be on DVD later in the summer of this year. But, my friends and I set out to make a film about free speech. And what we wanted to do was show that this is an issue that really should unite conservatives and liberals, traditional conservatives and liberals, because we all should care about free speech. What we found is there are some extreme elements of our society that really don't believe in free speech. And it's pretty shocking. And a lot of those elements have gotten the ear of young people. So polling data indicates that about 40% of young people believe that you shouldn't have the right to say something if it makes me feel bad. Now, that sounds nice, but that's not a good idea in a country like ours, where we really should be able to say whatever is on our mind, as long as you're not yelling fire in a crowded movie theater. We do have to be able to, that's sort of one of the fundamentals of being an American, is your right to speak your mind. And so we interviewed people across the spectrum, on the left, on the right, in the center, you name it, from Jordan Peterson, who's sort of an apolitical person, to Alan Dershowitz, to Van Jones, Cornel West on the left, from the right side, Ben Shapiro, and Coulter and others. We wanted to find that consensus of people who believe in free speech in order to help, especially the next generation, process this issue and come to the right conclusion, which is we all should agree on the right to speak freely.
Yes. And, you know, Mark, I had a young man on earlier today from Boston University. He's a biochemist, and he got suspended by Boston University because he's a Trump supporter. So immediately, the first thing I thought of was, I'm going to get a hold of Charlie Kirk, my friend at Turning Point USA, and we're going to get him on with the young man and see about recourse for the young man. I mean, this is a really smart young man that they've just railroaded him. And we hear these stories all over the country. So it's real. We know it's real. And it's really sad because it tears at the fabric of our country and what it's based on. It's really sad. So because of that reason, I personally am thankful to you, my friend, that you made this film. It really well done.
Thank you. I was going to say that this works both ways. You know, Alan Dershowitz in the film, who, as far as I'm concerned, is the prototypical American liberal of the last 40 years. And yet now he's considered to be some kind of a right-winger. But Alan says, look, guys, this works both ways. In the 60s, when I was a student on campus, a student activist, it was the right who was censoring us. And now the left is censoring the right. So this can go both ways over the period of course of time. But it is important that we find that common ground and we say, look, I may not agree with you on issues A, B, and C, D, but I want you to be able to speak your mind. And I would never think of shutting you up from speaking your mind and what you think about things.
That pendulum swings both ways and has. Hopefully, you know, we get this virus behind us quickly so that we can move on to some of these other matters and start to attack this problem. But you're absolutely right, Mark. What's up next for you, brother? What do you got cooking?
Well, No Safe Spaces comes out, as I said, digitally today. We have it coming out in the summer as far as DVDs. We hope you guys will pick up a copy for your relatives, especially if you have kids or grandkids who need to hear the message. They may not watch DVDs, but you can send them a streaming link to the movie. We have a lot of movies in our hopper. A movie on Ronald Reagan coming up next that I'm producing, working on that one. And then we have a lot of films that come across our desk that we're involved in the development and marketing of. So lots of fun things out there. I'm working on a companion book to the film as well as a reality show. But lots of good things coming up as soon as we can get this crazy virus out of the air.
What's the website for the film everybody can go to?
Sure, nosafespaces.com, and you can find the info there of how to stream the film, pick up a DVD later this summer. So looking forward to having your audience check it out. Absolutely, brother. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a real pleasure to have you, an honor. And I look forward to everyone out there seeing No Safe Spaces. It's outstanding. And I highly recommend that you see it as soon as you can. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break, America. Thank you. Well, that's it. All right. We're out of time, America. We'll see you tomorrow night on Indivisible.